We talk about Pan-Africanism, we talk about DC, what's happening, but we don't really talk about DC culture per se, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't talk about the style, the lingo, and all that. So when I saw your video, so when I saw your storytime series, you know, just those 30-second clips of you telling the story in DC lingo, it made me laugh because I know that few people outside the DMV know what you're saying. It's so funny. You know, you drop the yeah and the yeah, and then you talk like this and that. So what was your inspiration for that video, bro?
For real, it's just my neighborhood. Like, that's how we talk on a regular basis. That's how I tell the story. Like, if I'm gonna tell the story to you now, you know, I'm just going, yeah, you know, just tell it like that. Yeah. That's pretty much how it is for real.
I feel it. So you're an Aggie.
Nah, actually, what I do is, because I've been doing comedy for about 3 years.
Okay.
So I do stand-up at different colleges. And sometimes when I go to colleges, they give me paraphernalia, and I wear it in my videos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, pretty cool. When you're talking about DC lingo, what is it about DC lingo that's so special to you when you go to these different college campuses? What is it about it?
You can always tell when somebody from DC. I mean, no matter where you go, because we're going to say the same stuff. You know, ain't nobody else saying Mo. I know, and nobody else. You know, I can spot somebody from DC in Louisiana. I know just by the way he talks. So, what I was trying to do was connect the lingo with the comedy, so they know it's DC based. Like they know I'm coming out of DC.
Definitely. And what has their reception been to that? You know, I know the DC folk, they love you, of course. You're a hometown fella. They understand what you're saying, but what are other folks saying? What are our New Yorkers saying? What are our folks from down south saying about the DC lingo and about your brand of comedy?
A lot of people liking it. They trying to learn it. A couple people from Atlanta, you know, because like a lot of people that go to college and stuff, you're gonna meet people from DC at different states, so they probably tag their friends, ask for a translation. And I recently, like, on some newest videos, they're like, people in the comments like, I'm starting to catch on, you know what I'm saying? But they out of town, but they starting to catch on. They know who Mo is. Mo is everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Mo, Slim,
Bob, Joe, you know.
So, in your experiences, you know, what else do you talk about in your comedy? You know, just beyond, you know, DC lingo, do you often get a chance to explore other parts of the DC culture in your comedy? And talk about that for us a little bit.
What do you mean exactly about other cultures? Like,
so like just other parts of the DC culture. So like if you're talking about like, you know, DC clothes, like, you know, maybe like all the DC, you know, popular foods, popular spots, whatever parts of the DC life do you talk about, you know, in your videos?
Well, so in my videos, basically, it's funny you asked that because we haven't done it yet, but we're in the process of doing that. One of the guys that's with me now, he's also a comedian, and he's about to do a kind of like a Taste DC thing.
Okay.
So hitting up some different restaurants and stuff. His name Rashad. So there's a lot of projects we got coming up that we haven't really touched yet because I'm new to Facebook. I'm never on Facebook. I just decided to try it. And
you're a professional on Facebook, so you got your following.
So we just setting up plays for this year, but we haven't really touched on a lot of stuff that we could touch on. It's just in the works. This is all new for real.
Good stuff. And I saw a video recently, making a band. That was a pretty funny video. That was a high quality band.
Yeah.
That was in it. Talk to us about that. How did that feel? Just, you know, first people they saw the DC lingo, and now they're seeing go-go. You know.
Yeah. So what I'm really trying to do is I'm trying to turn maybe how you say like DC into, because for real, this is the nation's capital, so it's no reason why artists or it's no reason why people shouldn't be coming to DC to look for us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people, they feel like if they want to succeed, they got to go to New York or Atlanta or California. But what I'm trying to do is, if I'm keeping it home, that way it's like the more success that I'm getting, I'm bringing the go-go with me. I'm bringing everything with me. Y'all gonna come here, you know what I'm saying? You wanna do a show or you wanna pay me, you gotta come to DC. You gotta show love to the city, you know. So what I'm doing with that is actually gonna be like the real world. It's gonna have like the confessionals and the big, like I'm in the band and all that. I'm actually doing a show with them. I'm gonna be on stage for it's gonna be like a couple episodes with that. It's a whole series with that. So I'm just doing a bunch of different stuff, but keeping it local.
And when's that coming out?
The show is on the 29th. So after it's filmed and edited, you know, then I just post it.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's give him a hand. We're going to continue. What I noticed in interviewing you, you have a lot of love for DC. You know, it's very apparent. You're talking about attracting folks and bringing them to you're telling them, if you want to find me, come to DC, you know. So with DC changing a whole lot, you know, a lot of us, we don't really live in DC anymore. And those of us who do, we're struggling to live in DC. You know, why is it important, you know, to you that you keep DC's name alive? At least the black part of DC, the multicultural part. Why is it important that we keep that love for the city alive, pretty much?
I mean, for me, it's like where I've grown up, I've lived in PG and DC, but it's a lot of people that, you know, they get on, but they forget where they came from. And where I was living wasn't no pretty place, you know what I'm saying? So I really want to like bring money into the city, you know. My goal is not to just stay on Facebook, you know. My goal is to be one of the best comedians. So with that being said, I'm gonna bring it. I'm not gonna forget. Like I'm gonna be the positive Nino Brown of the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm bringing it back, bringing the money back into the community. You know what I'm saying? So that, you know, a lot of people don't understand what DC is. Like you talk to out of towners, they think DC is the White House and office buildings. They don't know that that's like what 3 minutes of driving, and the rest is pretty rough. So I just giving a different perspective so they can understand what DC is really like. You know, it's not all good White House, you know, nice area. It's really, we out here. Like,
oh, yeah, we are. What were your favorite comedians growing up? You know, where do you draw inspiration from?
My first comedian I ever seen, because when I was young, I wasn't allowed to watch cursing. So Sinbad, I watched all Sinbad stand-ups. And as I got older and did what I wanted to do, Eddie Murphy is my favorite, and then followed by Dave Chappelle, and that's my top two right there.
Eddie Murphy and Dave Chappelle. And Dave Chappelle, he is a DC native. You know, well, he's a DC resident, former DC resident. He came from Duke Ellington. So why those two? What is it about Eddie Murphy and Dave Chappelle?
Eddie Murphy and they just raw. Like I don't censor anything I say. Whether it's talking about, you know, you see my videos, whether it's talking about sex or any, it's no censorship. It's nothing. You know, I'm not going to censor. I'm going to tell you how it is, and I'm going to give you my viewpoint on how it is, and I'm giving it to you straight. If I gotta, whatever I gotta say to get how I want to say it, that's how I'm going to say it. And
what say you to like the elders, you know, who might shy away from that type of stuff? You know, a lot, you know, they really look at us today like, well, why are these kids like they're cursing a lot? You know, they do this and that. What say you to them? You know, why is it important for you to say what you want in your comedy and not be afraid to push those boundaries? You know?
I mean, I tell my mother all the time, you know, they was just as nasty as we are back in the day. They just didn't say it. Like I was listening to one song and the dude say, "Show me to the subway, I'll go down." You know, that's just it's just a censored way to say what I'm saying my way. You know, y'all, you know what's going on. We adults, though. It's like, don't try to play me like it was all good back then. You know, I know what was up. Y'all just said it differently. So I'm gonna say it how, you know, times change. I'm gonna say it how I'm gonna say it.
Hey, and you say it well, because you got a lot of laughs, man. You got a lot of laughs going on. Speaking of DC Comics and just putting on other artists and taking it and like just bringing that money back to the city, you know, what's in the works as far as collaborations? You know, have you explored the possibility of doing like a DC Kings of Comedy or something like that, or you know?
Actually, we're putting together a tour this spring. The dates haven't been released yet. All dates gonna be released when it's finalized. But we're actually gonna do a DVD special, and it's gonna be all DC, Maryland comedians only. And
that's love, man. Let's give them a hand. That's a lot of love.
We just gonna flood the streets with that.
That's a lot of love, man. Do you have these artists' name on hand, like these comedians? You know.
One of them, Eric Mack, and my man back there, Rashad Donnell. He does comedy with me.
Wait for the crowd, Rashad. Let them see who you are, brother. Okay.
The midget in the back.
So, what you talked about earlier about, you know, just the lack of support among, you know, artists. You know, we see it in hip hop. We see it, you know, just in different industries as far as artists concerned. You know, our rappers. You know, you have Wale, Fat Trail, whatever you want to say about them, you know, they get big here kind of, and then they go off and do their own thing somewhere else, you know. So why has that been the trend? Why are artists afraid to stay in DC and build? What you're talking about is something that kind of hasn't been done before, and people aren't really thinking about. Why are we afraid to build amongst ourselves in DC?
Well, I feel like a lot of people feel like it's a lot of hate in here. But I look at it like I'm gonna be the first to stop it. You know what I'm saying? I work with everybody. That's like when you hit me up, you say you was a journalist. Well, let's do something. Like I'm working with anybody. I work with dancers. I've been on some. I did some comedy skits on a mixtape with a rapper. It don't matter because we all trying to get out the same situation. So it's like if we work together, you know what I'm saying? You being a journalist, me being a comedian, him being a rapper, we all know somebody to know somebody, and it's, you know, it's like, dang, you with him, you know, it's all a networking situation. So I work with anybody from here, you know what I'm saying? As long as they focus and they not about games, you know, I work.
Where did that mindset come from for you? You know, how long have you had that in your mind that you were going to work with anybody and just climb your way up with teamwork?
I feel like it's the only way to do it. I'm not really just all for me type person, you know. I feel like, especially with people that I grew up around, and you know, this is my city, so you know what I'm saying. I want to see people from my city do well too. You know, it's no reason why people in Atlanta, you know, they work together. There's no reason why we can't do it here. You know, just because it's been a trend that it hasn't happened here doesn't mean I have to do the same thing.
Say it again.
I do how I'm gonna do it.
The elder asked you to say it again. Say it again.
I said just because it's a trend don't mean I have to follow the trend. I'm gonna do it how I do it. You know?
Let's give this brother a hand, y'all, because this has been a very enjoyable interview. Before I let you go, brother, we're going to play a game here, and I hope you don't mind this, okay?
Okay.
All right. So it's something, because I like the story time series. That was funny, because that reminded me, you know, for those who don't know about the story time series, it's story time for DC N-word. Look it up on Facebook, YouTube, wherever else. It's pretty funny. All right. I want you, you know, if you can, freestyling, talk about the ride over here, and, you know, just as you do it. One time, please, bro.
Alright, so I went to my man's house, you know what I'm saying, and let him know I was outside. So he got in, and I'm like, "You eat?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So he just like, "He ain't yeah." So I'm like, "Yeah, we can go ahead and get something, yeah, before we go up to the jump." So we stopped past the McDonald's, and he gets something to eat, and I'm like, "All right." So we heading up here, and food get in my way while I'm on my way up here, and that job blew me. So, like, it was just making me run late, because I told him I was going to job, like, be at, like, 8:30, so I'm like, dang, it's just, like, past 8:30, so I'm like, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, so as I pull up, I'm like, you see the jump? He like, yeah, it look like jump right there. So I look, and it was the yeah, so we just like, yeah, and we got in. Now I'm up here, yeah, you know. That's how I be though.
McKenton, everyone, let's give it a hand, y'all.